Hi, this is Martha Thornburg, Digital Literacy Specialist with the Mount Vernon School District. And our district is a Google Apps for Education school district, and we are in the process of, we've jumped full into Google Apps for Education. We're using all of the Google Docs, Google Sheets. We're using YouTube and using all of our functions. Our students are using our Gmail, but currently as teachers are using Outlook as their email, Microsoft Outlook, and also Outlook calendars. And this next school year, the 2015-2016 school year, in December, we're going to switch over from our Outlook mail and calendar to Google Mail and Calendar. So you can already jump ahead and start using Google Calendar, but until the switch over in December, all of your mail will be filtered through Google Outlook. But to get a jump start, many of you already have Google personal Google accounts, or you want to just know what's the difference, what is it going to look like. So we're going to take a look at Google Mail today, Gmail, and I'm actually going to be looking at a student's account because currently we don't have our teacher account set up, but it will look very much the same, and you'll be able to do the same kind of things with that. The advantage of moving from the Outlook products to the Google products is that they're all connected with each other. So there's a lot of transfer between Google Mail and Google Calendars. That's the biggest transfer, but also even between Google Docs and images and things like that. They all play very nicely together. It's very easy to share things back and forth using the same groups and calendars and all of that. It's much easier when we're all on the same platform. So that is the reason we are moving from Outlook to Google Calendar and Google Mail. So I'm going to jump in and just show you a few things about Google Mail, and I will probably update this as we get closer to actually moving to Google Mail in December. So we're just going to take a look at, this is my, I have a student account. So I apologize for the messiness of this because it's just where I play with things, and there's no real sense to anything that's on here. But so I'm in my Google account, and this is the mail account. Probably this looks very familiar to most of you. If you are not used to using Google Mail and you're logged in to Chrome, the Chrome browser, if you click on this, what I call the waffle up here, you'll see you get a menu of all the different things you have available to you with your Google Apps. And there's more down here if you didn't see what you wanted. So I'm going to click on the mail, and that's how I would get here. I'm already here, but I'm going to show you how I would do that. And if I wasn't already signed in to my Gmail account, it would ask me to do that. And you'll see here, I actually have more than one account that I can toggle back and forth. But this is the one that works right now, so I'm going to use this one. So here we are in our Google Mail. And one thing about your Gmail is that you can make it look the way that you want it to look and to work the way that you want it to work, as far as how you want to organize things, how you want to see what's there, and that kind of thing. So I'm going to show you a few things about where those tools are to make those different things work. And then you are going to use your organization system to make it work. That's one thing I've learned, is trying to teach somebody how to organize something is you can give them tips, but everybody organizes in a different way, and it can actually make things harder for somebody if I say, here's how you need to do this, and it's not the way your mind works. So I'll try not to do that to you, but I do just want you to see, when you go into your Google Mail, the first thing you'll see is your inbox. It just pops up right away. And in this case, the way I have mine, I have all of my mail in one place. It's not filtered in any way. It's just there. And you'll see that the bold pieces are things that I have not opened yet. And if they're not bold, then that means I've opened them. So, and you'll see over here I have 26 messages that I have not opened. And if I click on this little drop box right here, I can play around with how I see things. So if I want to see the unread mail first, I can click it like this and it will give me all of my unread mail things first. Or if I want to see important first. And what it will do is it will start figuring out what's important to me, the things that I open first and things like that, and those will jump in like that. So you can play around with that. That's one way you can sort things in your inbox. You can have a priority inbox, and again, it's going to pull out the things that are important and unread, anything that's starred. So you've got some different options for just how you want to set your email up. So it's very simple. I mean, so here's my messages. If I click on a message, it just opens right up here and I see my message here. It's as simple as that. So anytime I open a message, it just opens up right here. Okay, so that's the inbox piece. We'll look at compose in a minute and I'll show you some more of that. Just some other options here. The more I can, if I've just said, you know, I really, in this particular box, I really don't need to read any of these, so I could click mark all as read and be done with it. Now, if I go over here, I can actually scroll through the different messages. So if I open one up, then I want to see the next one and the next one and the next one, I can do that. And another thing to take a look at is the settings. So again, in settings, you can decide what look you like. If you like things to be a little more compact, you can squish them together like that. I like mine to be spread out a little bit more. It's easier for me to see. I can configure my inbox. So right now I just have one inbox that has everything in it. What I can do is I can put some different tabs on here, and what Google will do is it will take a look at what's coming in as far as what kind of message it is, and it will try, not always successfully but often successfully, to sort it for you. So sort just your mail, your personal mail that comes through would go in the primary one. Social things like Facebook notices, Twitter, things like that would go in social. Promotions would be, you know, a lot of junk mail basically, but things that you get from, I don't know, Amazon or something like that. Updates, if you've got things that just kind of auto-generated things about bills and receipts saying that you've paid this or this has been, you know, that kind of thing would happen there. And then forums, like I'm a member of some Google groups and things like that, and those would show up there. So you can do that. If you want some of them but not all of them to show up, you can click which ones you want to show up to sort. So I'll just click a couple here so you can see that here. And so you'll notice in a second here that now I have these different tabs, and currently there's not anything in these tabs, so that doesn't look very exciting, but if there were, they would show up in these different areas. So that's one way you can sort. If you go to settings, you have lots of different general options about how you want things to look, how many conversations you want to have on one page, how you want to handle images. You've got stars, and you can put stars on things here. Here you see stars, and I'll show you that in a minute again. But the stars, you can pull out things that you're working on right now, and so you can have different kind of color stars if you want. So another way to label. You can add a picture. So this is my I put my dog's picture in here because I always pretend this is Holden's account when I'm, you know, doing demos and things like that. So I put that in there. You can have a signature message that has, you know, whatever your signature is. Right now mine's not turned on in here. So there's a lot of different options here, and it's best just to go through here and read. It's pretty self-explanatory about what's available here. There's a vacation responder, so if you know you're going to be out of town and not answering your emails, you can let people know that. And then on labels, and this is a big thing, it's already set up some labels for you, and you can choose whether to hide or share them. And that is how in Outlook you save things in folders, and in Gmail you label things, so you're actually tagging them. And the cool thing about that is you can put things in have more than one label. So it can be labeled, I could label it Lincoln School, first grade, science. So it could have 3 different labels on it. So that's a good thing to remember with that, and I'll show you how to create labels in a minute. And then your settings for your inbox, and again, this looks, I showed you the different categories that you can put on here, and then you can change that default. Again, you've already seen that. So all of these pieces you've seen somewhere else, but you can see them here. Accounts. So you don't really, for your school account, you're not going to have to worry about this much at all. But if you have home accounts and things like that, it's good to know that you can access other accounts in the same place, or you can have your mail sent to another account and some different things like that. Filters are very cool. With filters, and I haven't used filters much, but you can set filters so that, so if I create a new filter here, I can say everything that's from so-and-so goes in this filter. So it's already adding labels to those things, and it could put it in a folder for me. It can archive it. I can decide what it needs to happen there. So one way I'm thinking that filters are going to be really good for us is we're going to be getting a lot of email from our students, and our students have a different email address. They have students.mvsd320.org. So you could set a filter that said anything that comes from students at students.mvsd320.org goes into this folder. So all of your student mail would go into its own space, and it wouldn't be cluttered with your other things that you're getting. Or you could actually even train your students to say period 1, and so everything would go in their subject. If it said period 1 or the name of the assignment or whatever, it could go in here. So these filters can be used for lots of different things. So remember filters when you get started with that. And again, this POP and IMAP, this is how to get and share this email with other accounts, and so you really don't need to worry about that with this. In labs, labs are experimental things that that they're playing with at Google, and you can try them out on here. So there's just some different things that you can enable or disable, and currently I haven't, since this isn't my main account, I haven't looked at it much, but there's a canned response, and if you enable that, especially if you're working with students, and in my case working with teachers who may be asking the same questions over and over again because from different people, if you're getting the same question over and over again and you have the same response, you can sit down and write out a thorough response with links or a video or anything that you need, and when that question comes up, you can just use the canned response. You can actually set the canned response so that if you get a message that has that certain question in it or whatever, it can automatically send that. I don't know that I would feel safe doing that. I would think I'm not sure that I believe Google is smart enough to figure all that out, but maybe it is. So that's a good one to pay attention to. There's some different ones, like if there's somebody has a location in a map, you can see the in the email you can see the Google map, and just some different things like that. So you can kind of scroll through here and see if any of these make sense to you. And then there's themes. So you can actually choose the theme of what your background looks like. And that's kind of cool. Didn't know that. So if I click save here, so now my theme has changed. And apparently when you type in Mount Vernon, it gives you a mountain. I think it'll probably change from that too. So there's all kinds of things that you can do in settings and themes. The other thing, so I wanted to show you how you can work with labels. So over here where it says more, you can go to create a new label. So if you have specific labels that you want, you can just label them here and you can organize them. So if I wanted to say Flubaroo, because I see in here I have a lot of things that come from my fake student taking Flubaroo exams. So I can click on that, and so now I have a Flubaroo label here. And what I can do is if I see something in here that is a Flubaroo assignment, I can just drag it right into there, and now in my Flubaroo I'll see that label. Go back to inbox to see everything. So I can do it that way, or if I'm in the assignment here, I can go to labels and I can click that I want that to be in my Flubaroo, have a Flubaroo label. I could also, just for fun, I could say I want it to be in forums as well. So now if I go back here, that wasn't a very good example because I put it in forums, but I don't have forums listed here. Click on another one. I'll make this make sense. So if I go here and I say I want this in Flubaroo, I want it in social. So now if I go back to my inbox and I click on social, it's in there, and it would, and you also see the label here. This makes it easier for me to search for things. So if I have things tagged or put away, I can just find the ones that fit that particular thing. So again, the labeling, create a new label. And I see some things from Lisa Condren here, so I'll put that in here as well. Create. And then I could just pull the things in there. I can read them first, or I can just drag them in there and it'll tell me I haven't read them yet. So there you go. That's how you do labels. And so that's about all there is as far as just navigating around. Now when I'm ready to write an email, if I click on Compose, I get a screen over here that I can make bigger. And I just type in the name of the person I want to write. And it's going to, and this is a test. Everybody knows how to write an email here, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time with that. But I did want to point out on the bottom here, you've got some formatting tools. Usually those are on the top on Outlook. You can do bullets, you can do underline and different color text and different size text and bolding. You can add attachments. You can add something straight from your Google Drive. You can insert a photo, a link, or an emoticon. So you've got several different options here for how you can add things. So if I wanted to add a picture, you see I've got some different options here. I'm just going to upload, and I'm going to pick this picture here of a sweet friend of mine, and it will upload right into the email. You can also add something as an attachment if you don't want it to show up right in the email like that. So if I had a document or something like that that I just wanted to show up as an attachment, I could do that. Okay, and so it's very simple, and then I just hit send. Another thing, and I can't show this here because I don't have an example, but your thread of messages will stay. Like if you write to somebody and then they reply to you and you write back and they reply to you, or you've got a write to several people and they reply, it all shows up in one line, and you can click on that and then see the list of responses there. So it's pretty simple. I don't think anybody's really going to have a hard time switching from Outlook to Gmail. They're probably already familiar. You're probably already familiar with this type of thing. I just wanted to point out some of the things like the labels and also the tabs up at the top and the filtering. I think those are going to be things that you find helpful. Another thing, and again, I don't have an example here to show you, but if you've got a date on something, here's one with a date. So if I have something with a date in my email, and this isn't a very good example because this is actually a calendar invite, but if I go in and I see something that says meet me Sunday at 2, it will underline Sunday at 2, and I can click on that and add that to my calendar. So there will be, I'm including in this course several videos about different things in Gmail from other people, and so if you want to know how to do something specific, you can learn a little bit more from those. This was just kind of an overview to get you started. Happy Gmailing!